There are two statements well understood in countries where English is the native language that I want to share with you today. The first is, I have your back, and the second is, I'm looking out for you. If you're not from a part of the world where English is the first language, and these statements are not familiar to you, know that these are significant words of comfort to the person on the receiving end. Both phrases convey to recipients of the message that the speaker is keeping a protective watch over them. Comforting as these words might be, when they come from a fellow human being, they will only apply when whoever states them is alive and well themselves. However, they take on a very powerful meaning when God Himself, the immortal and indestructible creator of the universe, promises that He has your back and is looking out for you. This is the very promise that is guaranteed for all believers. An example of this taking place in the past is at the point at which Joshua takes the mantle of leading the Israelites from Moses and is about to engage in battle with the various nations occupying the promised land. Moses informs him, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." He says that in Deuteronomy 31 verse 6. Likewise in Isaiah 41:10, the Lord addresses this message to the whole nation of Israel. "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will surely help you. I will uphold you with my right hand of righteousness." It's important to know that the promise conveyed in these two verses is an enduring promise of God's protective presence for all believers. The poem Footprints in the Sand by Margaret Fishback Powers captures God's protective relationship with believers. The poem reads, "One night I dreamed a dream, as I was walking along the beach with my Lord. Across the dark sky flashed scenes from my life. For each scene I noticed two sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to me and one to my Lord. After the last scene of my life flashed before me, I looked back at the footprints in the sand. I noticed that at many times along the path of my life, especially at the very lowest and saddest times, there was only one set of footprints. This really troubled me, so I asked the Lord about it. Lord, you said once I decided to follow you, you'd walk with me all the way. But I noticed that during the saddest and most troublesome times of my life, there was only one set of footprints. I don't understand why, when I needed you the most, you would leave me." He whispered, "My precious child, I love you and will never leave you. Never ever during your trials and testings, when you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you." If you're a Christian, whatever trials you may be facing in life, please take heart and remember God's protective presence. If, however, you're not a believer, I ask you now to picture someone having your back and looking out for you at all times and in all situations. This is exactly the promise you will experience being fulfilled when you accept Jesus Christ as the Son of God and place your life squarely in His hands. This is just one of the many blessings you will receive if you accept His gift.